Okay, I just want to take a peek real quick and see what's happening. Um, didn't feel like setting the camera up or being in the office. So here we are. Today's date. We are on Wednesday, December the 17th, 2025. The time is now 9:02 p.m. 9:02 p.m. All right. See what we got. Hope all is well with everyone, everybody. Okay, let's see what's popping. What's good, y'all? Tell me what's going on, y'all. Okay, it's got something to do with money fluctuations or being offered something you don't want. Okay. 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 Oh. Sorry, guys. I've had a cold that is seemingly trying to hang out with me. I haven't been sick in a long time, and then all of a sudden, boom. That's okay though. Okay, well, whatever you were offered, it was probably some money because it says there's an important document here that you received that tells you about money that you should have gotten more than likely a long time ago, and that you're probably, living a workman's life like most everybody. You're going to work, you're getting your payments, and you're paying your bills. You're taking care of yourself, basically. But somebody was hiding the money from you, it looks like. Because it says there's an important document about delays around some money that's going to make you really, really happy. And it'll give you an opportunity to actually move forward and actually do some of the things that you actually want to do. But there's going to be some frustrations around the money again. It's being offered something that you really, really don't want. So it seems like, and I'm just going to throw this out here, when you find out about this money, very likely it's going to be abused, beat up, spent up. They want to offer you way, way less than what the fuck it is supposed to be. And you going to be within what it says a double-edged sword. And you're going to be in a spot where you're like, well, I don't really want 1/4 of my motherfucking, I don't want 1/4 of my money. I don't want 1/10 of my money. I don't want 5% of my money. I want 100% of the money that is due to me. That's what I want. But you're going to take what they offer you because all of it, the 5%, the 1%, the 12%, all of it belongs to you anyway. It all belongs to you. But you don't really want to take less than 100%. You want all your money, every cent of it. But there's going to be something that you find out that they're probably going to go to jail. Because anytime you find out that there's money missing, there's somebody stole it, obviously. Money doesn't get up and move on its own. It has to be connected to somebody's fingertips and somebody's bank account and somebody's debit card. So you're probably going to find out that somebody stole it from you and that they can't recoup every cent because the money, I don't know, it probably was spent on something that you can't get back. Or they probably spent it on, I don't know, for example, they probably went and bought like properties that you can't unload for your money. So now you're stuck with these properties that you can't rent out. They're half-assed rehabbed or something like that. Like you don't want the properties, you want your money. You don't want even rented properties, you want your money. Like these are contracts or these are things that those people were doing when they stole your money. You don't want to pick up where they took left off while they're on their way to prison. You want your money, but you may. This is what it's saying. You're gonna be offered that. You're gonna be offered those properties. You're gonna be offered those things that those people bought with your money. So if they bought homes and cars and boats and whatever else, they're gonna offer it to you. Here, you got a yacht. You want this helicopter. You want this plane. Like no, I don't want. I don't want to. I want my money. I want to take my money and spend it on what I want to spend it on. Maybe I wouldn't have bought a helicopter. Maybe I would have bought a hot air balloon. But that's my money. I can buy whatever the hell I want to buy. So somebody needs to find the receipt to that helicopter and give me my goddamn money back. But that's not possible. That's what I'm saying. So it's going to be something that you're going to be frustrated about, because it does say frustrations, double-edged sword, a hollow victory. Like, well, I got my money, but now I have 17 properties. I don't want to be a fucking landlord in Florida. Like I don't want to be a landlord in New Hampshire. I want my money and I want to be able to travel, or I want my money and I want to, sit on a beach somewhere and that's it. I don't want to be a landlord in Vermont, but that's what this is coming with. Sorry, landlord in Vermont. Don't mean to hurt anybody's feelings. But you get to, you are still going to be happy. It's still going to make your dreams come true. You're going to be able to say your piece about this situation. You're going to learn the truth, because it says secrets are being revealed. So you're going to hear the truth about all this. You're going to hear the truth. And still be able to maintain or obtain a happy home. Well, the seven of wands is here, so you're gonna get over the frustration. I mean, obviously, if the four of wands is here, saying you're still gonna have a happy home. It's just frustrating. Like I said, you don't want to be a landlord in Vermont. Not very many people want to really buy a goddamn house in Vermont, but now you own 17 properties there. Lucky you. Now you got to figure it out. I mean, granted it's frustration, but you can still handle it. You know. So what it seems like is these people, what they went and spent your money on, it's not something that you can't handle. You know. Obviously the people that stole your money obviously aren't that fucking smart. So you're able to handle whatever they went and did with it. It's just that's not what you would have done. But hey, double-edged sword, at least you got something. And they get to go to prison, so you get that. Wow. 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 Two queens together. They're It says Four of Pentacles here, that because you stay on top of the situation, you stay level-headed. Granted, you want to tell them to take those rental properties, and these are examples, obviously, and I'm just rolling with it. Of course, you want to tell them to take them damn deeds and stick them sideways up their ass. You're still gonna take it because it's yours, it's your money, and you really don't know how long it's gonna be before you see the rest of your money. So you need to, obviously, if you want to change your life now, you need to get on board now with what's happening. And that's what you're going to do. But there is a promise of, hey, we're going to recoup the rest. Like, we have to. We have to recoup the rest. Like, we have to get the rest of it. But we also have to give you the money now. It's always been yours from day one. It was just stolen. So now that we found out who did it, we found out where most of it is, we can give you most of it, or we can give you all that we can. And then the rest of it, we have to figure out, like, we have to get it for you. So there is more on the way. There's a promise of getting the rest of it. So you're not completely going to be losing out. It's just it's just frustrating, of course, because it's like, now that's also part of my job. Now I got to hunt down Tom, Dick, and Harry at whatever law firm, make sure they're on top of their job, make sure the so-and-so and whoever's involved continues to remain involved. And this doesn't keep getting kicked down the road, and 17 years later, you still don't have the rest of your money. And more money is missing. And are you sure that comma was there? Are you sure that that's how much it was? And I don't remember us talking about it was 17 mil. Like, it's easier when it's in the moment. It's fresh in everybody's mind. Everybody knows you still owe me $17 million. Yeah, you still owe that to me. You need to figure out where the rest of it is. I want to see it. But if it's 4, 5, 6, 12 years later, people, I don't think that was that how much. No, I don't remember. I don't know about that. That's the frustration. So it causes another little element. But again, you're on top of it. Meanwhile, the money that you have is going to be creating more opportunities for you. I just said that. So there's going to be an overseas trip, relaxation. You spent likely, if you're like everybody else, you spent likely most of your adult life either in college and then in the workforce, or in the workforce, then in college, and then back in the workforce. So you've been working like everybody. And it's time for a break. This is going to allow you to have a much needed break. So if you've never been on any type of vacation, you now get to go on your first vacation. You now get to go somewhere and enjoy your life. You now get to enjoy your life. Let's just put that sentence out there. You now get to enjoy your life, because I don't know many people that, you see more miserable people at work than you do on the beach. For sure. For sure. And you get to move. There's just going to be a life change. The world is here. Your whole life is about to change. Things that you've wanted to do, things that you were fighting up the ladder at work to afford to do on your own personal ventures, you now can do. The trips that you wanted to go on and relax on, you now can do. Now you don't need a home loan to go buy a home. You can just go buy a home and then move in it. And then also at the same fucking time, you can furnish it. Look at that. Without having to be absolutely piss poor broke at the end of it. So this is a life change. It's a celebration. It's a bright life. It's what you deserved the whole time. That's what's up. Instead of being weighed down. Yeah. Instead of being weighed down with heavy loads, you can now give, love, and live, travel, see the world. Grant yourself the new beginning that you deserve. Actually see flourishing of your money, of your investments, of your time. It's nothing worse than when you put time into something and you don't see shit come out of it. Like, I just invested 2 years into this and it didn't come into anything. Or I just invested 12 years struggling to get this done and nothing happened. Like, I got stopped at the bank, or I got stopped at having not enough tax forms to fill in or provide, or I need a cosigner and nobody's willing to cosign, or something stupid always stops you. Instead of having that situation, now you can actually see the fruits of your labor. Now you're like, oh, I all I needed was money. I feel like that was the problem in your life. It was not the fact that you were fiery and outspoken. It's not the fact that you didn't have creativity, or it was not the fact that you were unable to learn, or it's not the fact that you were unwilling to go get up and go get it. It was not the fact that you were not unwilling to do anything. It was the fact that you didn't have money to do it. Because, you know, it takes money to build businesses. It takes money to invest in yourself. Because you can get up and just go do some shit. You can. But you're going to get stopped at some point. You can get up and go learn how to, do real estate investing. But if you don't have the money to pay for the platforms to do the searches, if you don't have the money to pay for things, I mean, there's plenty of other things. You think about any in industry, there's money that's needed as an initial investment to get started. If you don't have that money, you are not going to be successful. You're not starting out on the right foot. I don't give a fuck what industry you're in. If you don't have the money, it's not going to happen. And it seems like in this whole time, you didn't have the backing. You didn't have the support. You didn't have somebody that was there to say, hey, I think you can do it. And matter of fact, not that I think you can, I know you fucking can. I know you can do it. And I'm willing to invest this, $100,000 just to see you get off on the right foot. And I know, because I know you, I know you're trustworthy, I know you're honest, I know you're a business person. I know you'll get me that money back. I know you will. So I'm willing to invest it. You never had that. So that left you out in the cold. It left you out in the cold with it left you in the arena with people who don't have the get up and go get it, who don't have the dream and the goal, who don't want to go do anything. All they want to do is, go to work and be miserable and gossip, and that penitentiary mind frame. Just watching people and talking about each other back and forth and trying to do things to sabotage each other, because that's about as far as they can think ahead. They don't think about their futures. That's why they continually have babies, and they couldn't afford the first one. Why do you have 5? It's that penitentiary mind frame that I'm not focused on anything. I'm just gossiping and running around. That's it. It's a bunch of wasted energy. You were stuck around these stupid people, being forced to rub elbows with these people all day, every day, because you had no one supporting you. And I bet it's because most people knew, because the high priestess is here, most people knew that you would be their competition. If I support you, you're going to be my competition. If I show you the way, then that doesn't benefit me. You're going to be a major success, better than me, making more money than me. I bet you ran into a lot of people like that, where they just flat out would not help you. Not only that, they took time out to make sure you probably couldn't make it, and that's probably why somebody stole your money. They wanted to make sure that you didn't, even that little help that you were, that it's probably more than a little, because they went out of their way to steal it, but that even that help you would never get. They really didn't want to see you as competition. They did not want to see you come up through this situation and actually survive it, and actually come out through the surface. They did not want to see you grow. They did not want to see you break the surface. They didn't want to see you have the fruits of your labor. They're arguing about it. They're arguing about the money that they stole. They're arguing about how now you're getting the money. This Five of Wands is right on top of the Chariot. They're arguing about how now you're going to be able to move forward. Like I said, it was intentional. They intentionally did that. They were celebrating holding you back, celebrating the fact that you weren't going to have it. And then boom, something changed where you got it. What was it that changed? What was it that changed? You walked away. 8 of Cups. You walked away knowing nothing more could be done. There was something that, as long as you were around, they were going to continue to triumph on kicking you in the neck. The moment you walked away, the whole shebang fell apart. Everything that happened is now coming to light because you walked off. And you're getting this because you walked away. So they were going to continue to keep you weighed all the way down, keep you fighting for your little pinnacles that you get at work, keep you fighting for your position at a job, keep you, on the edge of your seat to make sure that you can afford the bare minimum. That's what they wanted you to do. Don't focus on being a landlord in Vermont. Don't focus on, making some good money and sitting on some beaches somewhere. No. We want you to be focused on, hopefully I don't, end up unemployed. Hopefully, no. There's no more hopefullys. They hate it. They're fighting about it. They're literally fighting with each other, arguing and fighting about it. They're also probably arguing and fighting about the fact that they're going to prison. Because stealing this large amount of money is going to come with a repercussion. There is accountability here. They will be accountable for this. There's accountability here. You don't steal large sums of money and I don't know what fantasy these people are living in or were living in, but you don't get to just steal large sums of money, whether you hate a person or not, whether you want to hold somebody back or not. You don't get to just steal large sums of money and then nothing happens to you. I don't know where these people, that's insane. to even believe that nothing, like, it's weird. Because I feel like they really felt like nothing was about to happen to them as long as you were around. I don't know why they thought because you were around, or maybe that's how they had it set up, that as long as you were around, it appeared a certain way. But the law doesn't give a damn if the person is there or not. If you stole money, that's a crime, and you're gonna go to prison for that. Like, it doesn't matter if the person's there or not. But whatever facade they had, whatever they had rigged up to make it look like something that it wasn't, it no longer looks like that. They were going to go to jail regardless, is what I'm trying to say. They were going to go to jail anyway. It was just they were satisfied with knowing that, meanwhile, back at the ranch type of thing, I can use all her money and live a good life, and then she'll never walk away because, you know, she's a good, loving, soft, gentle person, motherly type person that's just fiery and outspoken. She's not going to go anywhere. She's just a whole lot of huffing and puffing. She's not going anywhere. And I'll just, while she's around, you know, we'll make it seem like, you know, that's how she is. She's just, you know, crazy. And spend up all her money, you know. We're just going to spend her money, do what we want to do with it, enjoy ourselves, watch this person struggle, basically. And we're going to live our good life. And we're going to, you know, in the background, you know, we'll be meeting up, you know, having a good old time, talking about all the other trips we've gone on without this person, without the person that's at work, working their butt off. You know, they're disgusting people. I don't want to even keep going on. They're just assholes. And because that's some asshole shit to do, you know, to not share their money with them is some asshole shit to do. But that's in my opinion. Anyway, you walking away gives you the upper hand. You walking away, making the decision final, because judgment is here on top of the Eight of Cups. Making the decision final puts them in prison. Guaranteed they are going to jail. That money confusion, the way that they were making it look, they were confusing the situation, because money confusion is here twice. Yeah, they were trying to make it look like something that it's not. And now that you've walked away, it no longer looks like that. It looks like what it is. It looks like they stole it. Well, I hope they get 100 million years in prison and you enjoy. Have a good one.